Yeah.
It's not just, of course, the North Atlantic, but also the North Pacific, where a
Yeah.
lot of shipping happens from North America to China and back, of course, with a lot of goods being shipped from China to North America. And if you look at the region east of China, that the sea surface temperatures over the past 5 years increased more over this period, over only 5 years, than over the preceding 150 years. And in 2020 is the year when this global sulfur regulation came into effect, where these sulfur emissions were reduced by 80%. And indeed, even in 2013, there was already a study looking at the impacts of allowing ships to emit sulfur. For example, they could use different fuel with high sulfur fuel, which had been, of course, been using for over 100 years over the open ocean. So not close to the port, because indeed then the impact of these sulfur emissions will cause acid rain and will cause health impacts. But if they would only be allowed to emit over the open ocean, where there is already some sulfur there from algae, so there's a natural background load. But if they would be allowed to emit them over the open ocean, that could cause regional cooling, and that's really, of course, from a scientific perspective, that makes, if you want to cause rapid cooling, if you want to reduce this extreme, really, it's like beyond extreme. It's like increasing the greenhouse gas forcing from the past 270 years over this ocean, from all these greenhouse gas emissions that happened over the past 270 years, from firstly from one day to the next over much of the northern hemisphere oceans, right? That's what happened. So if you want to reverse that, that's the only way we can do that within 10 years, I'd say, is by allowing ships to keep emitting these sulfur particles over the ocean. Of course, that's very controversial. It's extremely controversial. But I do think that once civilizations realize what the impacts will be from these extreme sea surface temperatures, these extreme policy decisions will really seriously be considered. And
Thank you.
yeah, I wish we wouldn't be here, and it's not we're not advocating for anything here, but technically that is a possibility, and I do fear that we are now at the point where this will really be considered and potentially will be done. And I do hope that this will not be an excuse to not reduce greenhouse gas, which of course is really needed. Otherwise, we will just keep hiding the real warming, and what we call it, increase the termination shock, which means that if you stop emitting these sulfur particles, that there's really rapid warming of over 0.2 degrees Celsius of additional warming, which we are now starting to see already.